My name is Tatiana Poluch, and I'm a recent grad from the University of Toronto Master of Museum Studies program.
My name is Dawn Owen. I'm the Curator at Guelph Museums.
Future career goals for me are to really focus on using inclusive language when I'm working towards creating exhibitions. I can't say the amount of times I've gone to an art gallery and I just don't understand the language that's being used. So I think it's really important to make sure that whenever you're creating content that it will resonate with a wide variety of audiences, even if they're not from an arts background. I think it's important to be able to not use too much jargon and too much academic language when you're creating content for public spaces. So that's something I want to really focus on, and I also am working on including and being more aware of diversity and inclusion when it comes to my own practices. I've really taken some time to reflect recently through the mentorship program, talking with Dawn. We've had some great conversations about diversity and inclusion and just being aware of the colonial history that's associated with museums and collections. So just being mindful of that when I'm creating content.
I think if I had to name one thing, I think it's our resilience. And I also think that there is, if I can name a second thing, I think that there are a lot of people who have chosen this community as a place to live and to make their work. And I think in making that choice, there is a great depth of potential in terms of those people being able to realize their goals collectively and together. I mean, I think that the fact that, we're a relatively still small community, if we compare ourselves to other larger city centers, yet we seem to always punch above the belt, right? That there is this sort of depth of commitment, there is this insistence that no, we're going to do this work and we're going to do it here and we're going to do it exceptionally well. I think those sort of emblems of resilience are really critically important to the success of our local cultural community, and I think that there's a lot of people who have made that choice and are sort of creating the pathways to that success. So I would say, I have no plans on leaving, and I think it's because of that resilience, right? That there is that value set that lives right here in this community.
I think one of the biggest obstacles for emerging artists and cultural workers is finding ways to connect with other folks and to really recognize the importance of networking. I know it's something that makes a lot of people uncomfortable, including myself, but I've recognized that that's an obstacle that needs to be overcome in order to move forward in the field that you're in. Just building your LinkedIn and meeting as many people as you can. You never know how someone can help you out in the future or vice versa. I think programs like this, and in general, having mentors in your field is super important because they help you build those connections. They help you to work on your resume, critique, help you with applications, just like life advice in general. I've been really lucky with this program to be paired with Dawn. She's been great so far in the program. She's really invested in helping me become more successful. We've had some really good conversations, and she's putting a lot of time into helping me with my resume and cover letter, and helping me sort of build more skills or introduce me to new ideas or concepts that I might not have thought about before. So that's why I think programs like these are so important.
I think for those of us who choose to be mentors, I think we don't think of ourselves necessarily as as mentors in a way, I think what we understand is that there were a lot of people that came before us who have supported and facilitated our work. And I think we believe in sort of paying that forward. I think we recognize that that's part of, it's part of nation building, it's part of identity building from a community perspective. It's part of how we share and extend what we've learned. I was just in a close conversation with another emerging professional just recently, and we were talking about reciprocity. And I think most mentors, I certainly believe this myself, that mentorship is a reciprocal process in that I learn just as much from my mentee as they do, hopefully, from me. So I think this work, this commitment, this sort of focus on growth and sharing, I think it is circular. It's not a one-way street. And once we understand that mentorship has that quotient of reciprocity, I think that's where we get into another place, where we can collectively and together advance our interests. And those interests, when we succeed in those goals, we do great things together. So I don't think of it as, quote unquote, sharing my wisdom, or sometimes I do. It's like more the mistakes, examples of things that I've done that I've learned from. Those are great, points of discussion. And you have to take risk and you have to make mistakes in order to grow and to learn. So I would say that really for me, mentorship is about that sort of circular knowledge sharing. That's how we do our best work, and that's how we advance our interests.
I chose to be a mentee because I need all the help I can get. I chose to be a mentee because I think I have a lot to learn from other people in the field. Starting a career during COVID has been a bit of a struggle in terms of finding opportunities to put myself out there for, finding jobs itself. I feel like there have been maybe less jobs than normal available to be filled. I know there's a lot of hiring freezes at a lot of organizations, so that's been tough. Work in this field in general, I've realized, is a lot of contract work. Involves being really flexible with your schedule. So it's been sort of a learning curve.
The Guelph arts community needs stronger funding. That funding needs to come from more diverse places. There are great organizations and great individuals at every level of our local community, including our governmental offices, including our private foundations, etc. But there is still a gap between the creative talent in this community and the opportunities that they have to do their work. There isn't enough legitimate professional spaces for artists to install their work and to be in close dialogue with cultural leaders, cultural managers. We're a city of a size, and we do have that as a reality in terms of how much available funding and space and time there is to sort of cultivate those opportunities locally. However, I think, if I could say that organizations like the Guelph Arts Council, in collaborating with the School of Fine Art and Music in a program such as this one, that offers a tipping point. That says that we recognize that there are skilled people at every level of their career who have things to share and ways to grow. And if we can bring those people together into legitimate networks, then maybe, just maybe, we get to a place where there's more opportunity. And I really believe in that. So I was very excited when this program was initiated, and I'm super thrilled that that it has continued in the way that it has. I think that that there are organizations that could be more directly involved in creating opportunities with professional creatives. And I think there's a lot of work to do, but I think we're also positioned, if those that have interest and are dedicated to this work and have opportunity to really leverage their positions locally, I think that we can come together and actually create those opportunities. I don't think that they're fictional. They're not so far removed from reality that they can't happen. And as I said, I know I have been in this community for a very long time. I have built a career here, and I think that I'm not the only one that has managed to do that. But if one of the things that I can do is to support and facilitate that work continuing to happen, then that's where I want to spend a lot of my time and energy. So yeah, it is, I think we have a lot of potential. We haven't yet realized that full potential as yet.
Just making sure that all voices are being heard when it comes to putting exhibitions and shows and performances on, to really keep in mind that there are a whole variety of artists and musicians that still need their voices to be heard. So making sure we always work to include different perspectives is really important, and I think Guelph does a good job, but we can always do better.